Can we do this? Can we? Because I can't keep living with this film on my back.
No, I think we need to wrap it up now because this is is this the third or the fourth time we've talked about something Buckaroo Banzai related.
This is the fourth record. This is the fourth.
Jesus Christ.
This is roughly the fourth recording.
I mean,
even just hearing you say the words Buckaroo Banzai is actually hurting me, man. I feel when I was watching this documentary, I genuinely had some dread building in my core as I was just like, fuck, I'm never going to escape this film.
Yeah.
I've only watched the film twice and this documentary twice. I haven't even watched the Peter Weller interview. I was like,
you're missing some gold.
Well, I'm hoping you two were going to bring that heat for me, but this film is a curse.
Never going to be able to look at a bonsai tree again, and I'm never going to be able to play Buckaroo again.
I don't think I've ever played Buckaroo.
Well, what a sheltered childhood.
It's because you're middle class. You just play Operation.
No, I had that game. I had that thing where you No, did you ever play that game where you would like push down the shark teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite one. That was good. Whatever that was called. Welcome to Forever in Bloom. A show where we have, despite all of our efforts, have spent far too much time talking about the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. And this is traditionally a show that is an exploration, investigation, and celebration of Jeff Goldblum's cinematic career.
Oh,
but today,
nice and natural.
We are talking about Buckaroo Banzai again. So, Beth, how does that make you feel?
Empty and withered. I feel so, you know, in films when people say, I'm just so tired. I feel like that in real life, just after watching the films. Just after watching...
We didn't even watch the film.
Hey, I've watched the film 3 times.
That's on you.
Yeah, that is on you.
We only legally had to watch it twice.
Yeah. Legally?
Yeah, legally.
Well, yeah. We're in a blood pact here, you know that. Do you remember that day?
But the thing with this documentary is that it basically isn't a documentary. It's just a montage of snippets from the film with some weird old egg guy talking over the top of them. So basically I've watched the film 4 fucking times.
So,
That's what you guys have done to me.
For context, obviously our episode 10 was cursed.
A mistake.
We'd seen it, we'd watched the film, we'd recorded an episode. It went wrong. We watched the film, and we recorded an episode again, and halfway through, it went wrong. And we thought, yeah, that's a really good idea. And actually, Beth, it was your idea to watch this documentary for an episode.
Don't put this on me. I don't think it was.
You said it.
You bought the DVD. You have the DVD.
Yeah, but you say to the episode, you said, oh yeah, we should do a thing about that.
You were the instigator, Seb. You bought the DVD. No, you bought the DVD knowing there were some special features.
True.
You presented those special features knowing that we have the duty to this podcast to do what we can to explain what we're talking about.
Those features.
Is what I've done entrapment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and now you're framing me. You're framing an innocent woman for your wrongdoing.
Yep.
Wow.
Beth, is that not the way of the world?
You made me watch the worst not cult film of all time 4 times.
So there are 3 special features we set out to watch, and Liam has only watched 2 of them.
I watched one twice.
Great. And so one of these is the documentary called Banzai Declassified.
Can we just talk about the title, because why is it called Declassified?
Because this was all of the it's because of this weird fucking bit that they're running like the whole way through, that the Banzai Institute's this real thing, and Buckaroo Banzai is a real person. And
Yeah, what is that? Because he's not,
and
it's not.
And that W.D. Richter, the director's like sat. He's like, thank you to the Banzai Institute for letting us in here today, and they've gracefully let some of the artifacts out to see some of the things we designed in for the film. And this dude, sorry, we're getting ahead.
So the majority of this documentary about, I mean, I was led to believe that it was purely about the making of this film. And what it is, in fact, is W.D. Richter, the director or writer, whichever one he was, pretending that Banzai is a real man, and that they were making a docudrama about his life. And, I mean, straight off the bat, if this was a docudrama, it's the worst one I've ever seen.
It's just
This man,
awful.
he was a director, by the way.
Director.
W.D. Richter.
Oh, that's right.
is
L. Mac
awful.
Rauch was the writer.
Yeah, and W.D. Richter should be sectioned. And I firmly believe that he wants to get nasty with Buckaroo Banzai, and no one will ever convince me any different.
I will place all of my family's lives on the fact that the writer, if you were to go into his bedside drawer, you would pull out a manuscript which would be Buckaroo Banzai fan fiction of his own work, and it would be disgusting and filthy.
I think there was like a huge history of this film like not being made, and they had like no one wanted to take the film up, understandably. But he has like hundreds, or like the comic series that they allude to in the thing is like comics that he and this other guy Earl have actually written, and it's like I think it's a thing that a character they created when they were younger that they've just kept like expanding on the lore and the universe for their whole life until they've gone insane and lived inside it, like in Jumanji.
That's very, very accurate, I think.
So Beth, your the thing you just mentioned about the fact that W.D. Richter definitely has some Banzai fan fiction.
Yeah.
I have actually found the Buckaroo Banzai fan fiction archive.
No way.
Which only has 42 entries. So just the first one here that was published on March 25th, 2020.
No.
Just to confirm, the original film came out in 1984.
Yeah, and the user is 1980s Pepito. The beginning of it actually features Jeff Goldblum's character, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And Sydney.
Is this canon?
Unclear. I want to believe so, but I'm not ready yet. But the synopsis... Well, so here's the thing. The synopsis is just a sentence that should be in the manuscript.
Is it raunchy?
Penny smiled and got up from her chair. She walked around to his side of the desk. He followed her with his eyes hesitantly, nervously. Once she reached him, she leaned down and gently kissed his cheek. When she pulled away, both of their cheeks were red.
I'm going to take my headphones
but neither
off. Beth,
mentioned
can
it
you
to
just
the
give me
other.
a wave when he's done?
I know it'll be great, she said.
You keep saying a sentence and then just perform an entire monologue.
Yeah.
Was there no full stops in that sentence?
No.
Jesus.
Fan fiction is not written well.
I'm waving at Liam to put his headphones back on.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're back.
Thank you,
We're all
Beth.
good.
It was not sexual at all, Liam.
I don't believe it.
That does not surprise me in the slightest.
37 of the 42 entries here on this archive are written by the same person.
Is it the fucking director?
Well, it's 1980s Pepito. Can I find
Okay.
You can
find
have
out
any
anything?
username you want in the world.
Seb, can you dive in?
Use your espionage.
I'm reading it right now.
No. Please do not misunderstand me and never ever read any more of it. Can you find out who 1980 Pepito is? Because it might be W.D. Richter.
Well, that's what I'm looking into.
Get me emails, IP addresses, dox this motherfucker.
He's also
We need to
written
see
fan
what's going on.
fiction for Doctor Who and That 70s Show.
What a weird collection of weird
Yeah.
niche fan fiction writings, that's bizarre.
It is quite odd.
So I've written down here what the train that my brain was riding on as I was about halfway through the documentary.
Take us on Beth's brain train.
I've written, they are actually all aliens and they're completely playing us. They are aliens pretending to be humans who have made a documentary about a film that they've also made about aliens pretending to be humans.
He does look like one of the lectors.
He does.
Doesn't he? But what really annoys me about this man is he just does not give a shit about how bad this film is.
And he doesn't care about the audience because he repetitively lists all of the questions that he says fans are, or not fans bring up, and they go, but what's it actually about? What's actually going on? What can you tell us about what it actually all means? What is the allegory? They keep talking about this big extended allegory, but they don't actually give us the answer. And all he says is, well, I think it's obvious. That's his response. Yeah. All he says is, well, I think it's obvious. That you're not making something with your audience in mind if they then come back at you with all the questions and you just say, oh, it's all there. You're done. You didn't even notice it. It's all there. I told you, and you didn't even notice it. What a dickhead.
In this documentary, they do ask a lot of different members of the cast what the film's about, and I did note a couple down. So Clancy, I put down Clancy Rawhide because that's the dude's last name, and Rawhide, and I just love that name.
Good name.
When he was asked, he said, I've been asking people that myself for a long time. I don't know what's happening. The dude that played Perfect Tommy said he can't remember the film. He's on set in costume and he's like, yeah, I can't really remember what I've just done, what we're doing. I don't really know what's going on. And then W.D. Richter says, you can talk for a long time about this, but you can't explain it in one sentence. We didn't even know what genre this is.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There's a lot of talk in the documentary about genre. They mention every genre under the sun apart from sci-fi, which I find completely insane. Yeah. They say comedy a lot, they say drama a lot, they say all these different words, and they don't even say sci-fi, which is just like mad. It didn't screen. The only screening after its initial box office release was at a sci-fi festival, right?
I think so.
Yes, it had like
it was
very
only shown
few.
Once.
Yeah.
They're trying the biggest cult film ever that just doesn't get shown anywhere.
Yeah. The first time that Peter Weller and John Lithgow saw it in a cinema was in 2015.
That's just wild. That's just wild. It's not a cult following if no one's showing it in small independent cinemas. Like,
they're just forcing a cult thing. It's not a cult thing. But it's just when the way that he talks about Buckaroo genuinely makes me really uncomfortable.
So do you remember the four people he says that Buckaroo is a combination of?
I've got three of them.
Okay, who have you got? And I'll fill in your fourth.
I've got... what I wrote down was they said that he is a contemporary hero because he is a fragmented individual. He is a bit of Leonardo da Vinci, also Albert Einstein and Adam Ant.
Yes, and the one you're missing is Jacques Cousteau, the explorer scientist.
I hate that they try and drag Adam Ant, who's one of the coolest individuals ever to exist, into this absolute shit show. He is nothing like Adam Ant.
Beth, I think you'll find that he's a lot like Adam Ant. That's what they want us to believe.
He's got cool jackets and plays the guitar. What else?
It's about as much a cult film as Peter Weller is Buckaroo Banzai, who is also Adam Ant.
You did call him a sexy man last time.
I do think he's sexy,
and I do think it's deserved.
I do think he's sexy, but then seeing old man Peter Weller kind of destroyed that.
So this is a good thing. So Liam, you didn't watch the Peter Weller interview.
No, I watched the John Lithgow one, but I just
Beth,
couldn't.
How do you find the difference between John Lithgow's and Peter Weller's feelings about the film? In that Peter Weller seems quite serious about it, and John Lithgow was just like,
serious.
It was just fun. I was an alien.
He basically opens it by saying how he it's almost comical. He's like, they gave me the script and I said, no, I don't want to do it. And they were like, go on. He was like, no, really. And they were like, oh, go on. And he was like, no. And then that just goes on for like ages. And then he goes, oh, okay. And he does it. And so that's how he opens it, basically.
I think he said that they said to him, what's the worst that could happen? He said, even if this goes nowhere and it's garbage and no one watches it, we'll still have a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's all that W.D. Richter cared about, because he talks so much in this documentary about running out of money and not being able to do certain things, so he just wings it. Like, it's why some of the masks looked awful in the film. It's because they couldn't pay for like the special effects artist to apply all of the masks for the whole time they were shooting. So sometimes in some of the shots, all the pieces are applied correctly and the special, like the practical effects look amazing. And there's other times where you just see their mouths flapping behind like the open jaw that's just swinging. He just didn't give a shit. And he just talks about how he's like, I just wanted to make loads of these. So we made hundreds of these, and then I kind of just ran out of money, so we just used it.
It's absolutely outrageous. And this is it.
Just doesn't give a shit.
Reconfirms my point that I made the other day about how people were trusted far more with large amounts of money back then. And you couldn't make those errors now. You couldn't make the fuck up so that you employ someone to do set design and then you can't afford to have them on set.
Yeah.
When they've got
for the whole time
£26 million to make a film and you can't afford to have your set designer on set. Like,
I think he was doing some shifty bits, man.
Shifty bits.
So
yeah, because this is not. Wait, what was the budget for this film? Did we have a look at it?
It was
I can't
26.
remember. But yeah, 26 sounds about right. 26 big ones.
Because this is not $26 million of movie.
Doesn't look like it.
No, it's
not.
It is $1 billion of movie.
If you were to extract like a single scene out of it and not tell someone the runtime, it would look as if you pulled it straight out of a student film.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's 17 million.
Oh, 17.
Okay.
Where did I get 26 from?
Yeah, it's a good number.
Who knows?
Maybe it was one of the different things we've watched. Who knows?
But it got back less than half on the box office.
That's unfortunate.
I had a thought. So in 1984, when this film was being made, there was believed to be 9 planets in the solar system until Pluto was declassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. So I realised they've got all of these weird, wacky names and all of these different species of aliens and all of this shit going on, and they decided to call the planet Planet 10.
It's so upsetting.
The 10th
it's
planet.
lazy.
Planet 10.
Because that actually opens a whole line of questioning into even the Lectroids are calling it Planet 10. That is a very Earth-centric.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. They're implying that all of this is happening in our solar system. They're suggesting that the Earth within this film is our Earth, and all of this is happening on our planet. And they've got a 10th planet in the solar system, which they're all scientists, so they all know this planet exists. And all of them, including the aliens that are from that planet, have decided to call it Planet 10 in their native tongue. They call it Planet 10.
The Lectroids are like clearly more advanced than the humans, and what this means is, if we as humans one day discovered some less advanced like interstellar species, and they said, "Oh yes, your planet is called Glob," and then we said, "Oh yes, that is now what we will call our planet. We no longer live on Earth. We now live on Glob." Like, it's ridiculous. But this actually leads nicely into... So, Liam, in the Peter Weller interview, he makes a connection. I think an allegory is probably the right word. That what Buckaroo Banzai is doing is getting closer to God.
Sorry.
So he talks about how science and how music and how all of these things that Buckaroo Banzai embark on, they're all about getting closer to God. And if you can rip like a pure flugelhorn solo or guitar solo or something, you're closer to God. And if you can break through a scientific barrier, you're getting close to God and the divine.
But isn't science like against God or the opposite? God against science?
I think it's more complicated than that in Peter Weller's mind. And I mean, there are Christian scientists, and that's a whole other thing to...
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Christian scientists or flat earthers or Scientology or one of those weird cliquey cult things.
There was some cultish vibes in this documentary.
Yeah, in a big way.
Something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but something shifty has happened on set or with this movie, with the money, with something.
He made me so unsettled. So I keep forgetting his name. It's because I don't want to
W.D.
remember that
Richter.
information in my
W.D.
head.
Richter.
It's going to push out something else important. What's his name? I'm just going to call him Glob. So Glob manages to describe things. This is even more confirming my point that I think they are all aliens in human bodies, because he manages to describe something as if I am also an alien and I have to learn how to be human, and it's like he's made an educational video for me. So he says this is verbatim what he says. He says, where have I written it?
Beth, if you show us your notes, is it just like, did you just like put your pen on the page and just let it swing around like doing impressionist art?
I haven't written it down, but I will remember it. He says, so when he's talking about the items from the film, as if they're not items from a film, as if they are real things, real objects that exist and have a real use in society, he lifts up this hat and he says, this was Buckaroo Banzai's hat. When his head grew too big for it, it was retired. That's what he says. Why does he say that? He's an alien in a human body. We know that when a hat is too small for you, it's retired. But we would never say that. I don't think a human has ever used the word retired for a hat. It's like he uses the word retired for a hat as if it had a career in the same way we would have a career. And then, as soon as that career's not right anymore, we're too old or we're redundant, we are retired. He places the same amount of value in a hat as he does a person, and that's what confirms he's an alien.
He's gone wrong.
He looks mischievous the whole time he's giving that speech.
Yes, the way he is just like looking at the camera and has this weird smirk as if he's like a serial killer that like killed every extra that was on the set of Buckaroo Banzai and has got away with it this whole time, and every like prop he's showing is a murder weapon. And he's like, look at this one. You don't know what happened with it. It's so weird, man.
What do we think the WD stands for? Does anyone know his real name?
Weird.
I'm
Weird director. Richter.
Walter Dutch.
Okay,
Wait, what?
That's quite good.
Walter Dutch.
Walter Dutch.
Walter Dutch Richter is quite a good name.
I don't like any of these names. These names make me unsettled. This whole thing makes me unsettled.
If I ever got to ask Jeff a question, I would really want to know what it was like being on set for this film.
It's got to be weird, man.
Yeah.
There's something going on, for sure. I will say, John Lithgow's interview made me appreciate his character and enjoy his performance more because I know that he was just fucking around.
Yeah, he was there to have a good time.
Like the fact he found an actual Italian man to copy his accent.
Who was
and
his
accent
tailor?
And his accent is still awful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. He just copied a bunch of Mussolini traits and was just using that in his crazy speeches. And the one thing I don't get is he said that this movie was trying to take Star Wars and turn it on its head.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Were they
Nothing
talking about the
about-
future Star Wars? What Star Wars had come out at this point? Sorry, I'm having a dumb moment.
The first one.
When did it come out?
The first one was 1977 to 79.
Because they can't be talking about what's the first Star Wars? Sorry,
They're fully
Star
talking
Wars
about A
is-
New Hope.
Like the original trilogy, yeah, like the New Hope and...
I think only.
Are they talking about subverting that? Because I thought they were.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought they were talking about films that hadn't been made yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm going to stop talking.
The first two Star Wars films are out at this point.
Right. But yeah, he literally said, this film and Weird Dude Richter were trying to take Star Wars and turn it on its head.
You know why I think this film has offended us all so much? I do think it's because Peter Weller took his role far too seriously, and it's confirmed by his interview where he is
absolutely.
so deadpan serious about the allegory and everything. It's almost as if he's talking about a religion, and if you were to offend Buckaroo Banzai, you are to deface his deity or whatever big controlling force there is.
W.D. Richter assimilated him, that's why. He didn't get to anyone else, but he's assimilated Peter Weller. But everyone else seemed like they knew what they were getting into. They all just fucked around and did what they wanted to do and had mad roles, which is why Christopher Lloyd was great in it, because he was probably just fucking around the whole time. But...
yeah, he was. I do think that the two like henchmen were some of the best performances in the film, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd smashed it. Sorry, please continue. I was just thinking about how much I like Christopher Lloyd.
No, he's awesome. But no, yeah, I just think everyone kind of saw the script for what it was, which was just a hot pile of garbage, and were like, well, let's go fuck around for 2 weeks and get paid for it.
I've worked on a garbage film before. And it was horrible.
But this kind of garbage?
It was pretty bad. When I say bad, I mean awful. But it was bad, and it was not fun. No one was in good spirits.
But was your film?
It wasn't my
comedy
film.
With alien...
It was someone else's film.
Was that film a comedy about aliens and surgeons and
no?
Rock
And it was
musicians?
Also zero budget. Very different.
That's what I mean. So if like Jeff Goldblum can turn up, wear some sheepskin chaps and make some dumb jokes for like a month and get paid for it, why the fuck not? If John Lithgow can turn up, pretend to be Mussolini in a really bad accent and yell some dumb shit, why not? Because he's going to get paid for it, you know?
You're very right. And I think it's...
Peter Weller and W.D. Richter are so far gone and assimilated into this really like weird underground sex cult that... What was the film that was supposed to allude to like Hollywood's underground? Eyes Wide Shut. Maybe this is like the reveal of Eyes Wide Shut about the underground Hollywood sex cult, and Buckaroo Banzai is at the head of it.
The cult in Eyes Wide Shut is one of like the revealing of the cult. That scene is one of the best pieces of cinema ever to exist.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like alluding to the underground Hollywood sex cult thing.
So, I've just been doing a little bit of digging into the writer of this film, Earl McCrouch.
Yeah, I was flicking through his Wikipedia.
There's not much to it, is there?
Really not.
This is the thing he's pretty much the best known for, other than New York, New York.
Wait, did he do anything after this?
Yes, something called Wired.
Okay. Has he been seen since? Because there's no death on here, and there's also no birth.
Are we thinking that he's...
Well, I've never seen a professional writer have a Wikipedia this spare.
It's pretty
I think
bare.
Beth is absolutely bang on that he's an alien.
Yeah.
Because it just says born United States.
It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense that they are aliens, and that's really saying something. Like, it makes sense that everyone who worked on this film is an alien, and it makes more sense, like with the journey that we're embarking on. With
there
Jeff
is zero personal information about him on there.
Nothing is known about him.
I'm going to read you his entire Wikipedia. Earl McRouch is an American novelist and screenwriter. Rauch is best known for writing screenplays for A Stranger Is Watching, New York, New York, and The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Hence, the is known.
Yeah.
Is known. Known by who? Known by everyone living in the eighth dimension.
Then it says born United States. No day, no year, no nothing.
So,
and then just the four things he's worked on. This dude's a myth.
So I was reading. So I've just found an interview here that's like Buckaroo Banzai director W.D. Richter and writer Earl McCrouch. Earl McCrouch doesn't say anything in this interview. It's just W.D. Richter responding to questions.
Earl McCrouch is a puppet. He doesn't exist. It's all W.D. Richter trying to... This is it, mate. This is where the fucking budget went. W.D. Richter has written this movie. He has created Earl McCrouch as this fake person that he can employ on his film as a screenwriter, pay all of the money to, and it just goes straight back into W.D. Richter's pocket.
Can I read you a quote from Earl McCrouch, even if he is a puppet of W.D. Richter? So this is the only interview with him that I can find, and it was in 2004. And the question is, where does Buckaroo fit into the context of your life since you first dreamed him up? And the response is, I doubt that Buckaroo has anything to do with my life. Buckaroo is part of the ether, that's all. He belongs to you as much as to me. Interpret him as you will.
Oh my
That's
god,
it.
I hate these two men so much.
Yeah.
Well, this one man.
So-
I hate this one man in two skins.
Yeah, I mean that's a reoccurring. It's you know what? I think you're on the money there. This theme about one man, two skins comes up over and over again. It's mentioned by
This
John
is why
Lithgow.
he's so smug.
John Lithgow plays one man, two skins in the film, and then when he's doing an
Yeah.
interview, it's as if he's two people.
Yeah.
Bizarre, and he talks about that, and he ends the interview by saying, two aliens living in the same human body. Who knows? Maybe that's who I
yeah.
really am. That's how he ends the interview.
He fucking does. And yeah, the whole thing is about aliens that can look like humans. Two people, one skin.
And as I was watching the film, the actual film, not the documentary, there's loads of like artistic decisions that stand out as just being completely wacky and wild, and it challenges you to an extent, and it makes you question the world and the chemistry of the world and everything. But one of the things was the fact that, and you guys definitely brought this up as well, in the alien ship, for some reason they're on really, really, really high stools.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, there must be something more to this. There must be, like, that you don't just make an artistic decision like that, like a big grand scale thing that's a lot of work and a lot of energy. You don't just make that up for no reason. And then WD-40, no, what's his name?
WD-40.
WD-40 Glob says at one point, and the aliens are sitting on very tall stools, and that's his rationale. That's it.
Yep.
He doesn't say anything else. He doesn't explain himself. Why are they on really high stools? He uses the word very high stools.
That's just his lounge, mate.
Tell me
And he
about
didn't wanna...
Lectroid culture.
There's nothing else
This
to
is
it.
it.
That's what you see is what you get. And there's so much in there. And I feel like because everyone approached it as, oh, this is a joke. We're just spunking a load of, like, we're just spunking 26 million on high stools and hats, retired hats. And so they just thought, let's just bring in all this other shit. Let's bring in some sheepskin chaps. Let's bring in all this other shit, all this Mussolini mannerisms. And there's so much in there, and it's all worthless because it's all just been brought in by all of the actors, and they've just been given
Just to make
complete free reign.
WD-40 as much money as possible because he's cashing in 2 paychecks and smug as fuck in the interviews because he's like, you don't know that I got paid 10 million of our 17
It's
million
a
budget.
mess.
What a piece of
This
shit.
came
a
out
mess.
within 3 months of Dune. Which
Within
is
3 months of David Lynch's sci-fi film and flop, Dune.
but real actual cult classic that has become one of the most treasured sci-fi films of all time.
Oh yeah, although David Lynch hates it, and he wanted nothing to do with it.
That's
It's
true.
not a good film.
But, you know,
But Denis Villeneuve, she'll smash the reboot, so it's
so
fine.
I'm
looking
very
forward to
excited
that.
about this reboot because someone told me that it was happening, and I thought they were lying, and I thought it was all like a big farce, and then I actually saw that it was Timothée Chalamet is going to be in the remake of Dune.
More excitingly, Oscar Isaac is going to be in it, and he's arguably the best looking man in Hollywood.
Well, you're very shallow, Seb.
It's a bold claim.
It's a bold claim, but I stand probably by it.
I'm going to put my vote in that we stop talking about this film forever.
I think
Because
that you've been able to track our rising heart rates for the last 40 minutes. If you were to listen to this, I imagine we start like quite low and quite not really feeling good about things. And at this point, I'm like fired up. I'm kind of angry.
Yeah, I'm feeling very, very wound up and passionate right now. I
Yeah.
feel like my whole day has been a slow roller coaster, like downwards spiral and then upwards, and then I've been creeping up throughout this time we've been talking, and then I've just had this crescendo of angst that's just come out in this cathartic rant about Buckaroo fucking Banzai in the 8th dimension.
I just genuinely I can see the future. I see we're at a crossroads right now, and either we can take this film and everything that it entails with WD-40, put it in a box and swallow the fucking key, or we can go down this other road, which I genuinely think ends in a collective despair where we all lose our minds and actually go to prison or get sectioned.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're
And I
pretty
don't
on the
know about
money.
you, but I have stuff I would like to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go down that route.
Maybe
just
we
don't-
should strike everything off the record. Maybe we should just delete the episodes and just pretend it never fucking happened.
Seb, can you change the name of this film in the Linda board so when we have to reference it again,
Yeah.
we never have to say the words Buckaroo Banzai? We've got to treat it like Voldemort.
Just hearing
Okay.
you say
Exactly.
it gives me shivers.
See what I mean, man? Like that is going to be like the trigger for our collective trauma that is this film.
Okay, I'm not
So
going
I
to
think
tell you what I'm renaming it, though.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, also because I also know that I have to sit through the 50 minutes of this and edit it again tomorrow and listen to more about this film, and I don't want to do that. So if we can keep this short, that'll be lovely.
Well, I think one of the most important things we have to remember is that you don't have to be mean. Because no matter where you go,
I swan.
there you are. Which is a line they're really proud of.
They're really proud of that
So
line.
proud.
They're so proud of it, and they all say it a lot, and they all talk about it as if it has some greater meaning, and it doesn't. And that, for me, that line,
No.
line
that
sums up
line
doing it
captures
again.
the essence of this whole fucked up project. It really does. No matter where you go, there you are.
I'm going to get that tattooed.
No matter where we go,
film's gonna
Buckaroo
end me.
Banzai is there.
This film will end me. This film's going to be the end of me.
Okay. I think we've
Well,
said enough. I think we've said enough.
Yeah, I'm actually going to delete all the notes on this film, so I just never ever have to do this again.
I at the beginning of this, I didn't want to talk about this film again, but now, is it cursed to say that a part of me wants to watch it tonight?
You have to be
Oh, mate.
joking.
I'm kind of not.
You think you know a guy, you know?
You have
Just
to be
like-
joking.
I think this is a good film to put on with a room of people who have no idea what's going on, just to see their reactions.
I see where you are, Seb, because the reason why I want to put this in a box and never look at it again is purely for my own mental health, because this tickles a part of my brain that I could see really diving into some of the things that we have brought up about how fucked up and weird and surreal some of the things are around this film and some of the situations around the film being made, that I genuinely could see myself unspiraling and losing myself in this film and never being the human that I should be. So I know where you are, and I'm trying to actively kick that away.
I think there's a lot more that we could actually talk about. That's the painful truth of this. I think if we were to actually really do our
we
research,
haven't even scratched the surface, I feel.
I feel the same. I think if we were to invest a lot of time and research and energy into the actual physicality of the production and where the budget actually went, if we could find
This could be a whole new podcast.
It literally
of like an
could.
investigative journalism podcast on what happened to the budget of Buckaroo Banzai because it isn't on screen.
You
Where
know,
is it?
you know how it's made, the show.
Yeah.
You know how calming that is.
Yeah.
I want them to tackle this. Give me
you would hear the guy's
quiet,
brain implode.
almost ASMR level, and then Peter Weller.
Oh no. If you were to put this film matched with some ASMR, I would actually tear my ears off.
I could do a dramatic reading of the script where I play all the characters for you if you want.
If you do, I'm leaving this fucking podcast.
No, we can do it. We can do it as a special release.
Okay, here's something. Would you rather never watch a film ever again? Any film. Never ever watch any films. Imagine that.
Or watch this one every time.
No. Or have the song that's played as they're walking. If you could just bring it up now, future Liam.
In the
song that's played
credits.
at the credit sequence, and as they're all walking and dancing into the abyss, and as you sit there pondering your own mortality, that song that you hear right now, that's in your head every day for the rest of your life. What
I
would you
would walk
choose?
with the spring in my step.
I'd never watch a film again.
Really?
Fuck films, man.
I actually
done with
really
them.
like that bit of music at the end.
This podcast seemed like a really fun idea 13 episodes ago, didn't it?
Honestly, right now it seems like it can only go up. I can only get
Well,
more
we're about
excited.
to hit 1985, so I don't know.
Man, I
about
wish
that.
I was where you were right now, because I'm standing on the edge of a pit. A WD-40 shaped pit. That's gonna eat me up with their weird crab ships. Right, I'm done. I'm done with this film.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
ending this now. I'm sorry we've subjected you as a listener to more of this. If you never want to listen to the show again, I understand. But if you could also force it on all your friends, that would be
Liam,
cool.
Get out of here with that energy. We're doing good work. This is journalism.
Investigative journalism.
You think you know true crime? You think you've listened to Serial? Hold up. We're coming for you. We're going to unravel this mystery that's almost twice as old as I am.
But yeah, I'm still kind of amazed when I see that even sometimes how little the numbers are that people actually do download these episodes to listen to our bullshit. So thank you to everyone that does listen to this.
Yeah.
But if you could also push that round and kind of spread the word and get this around there, that would mean the world to us.
Yes.
Some of
Not
us.
to...
Yeah, Beth honestly doesn't give a shit about this. She can give or take this whole thing.
Hey, I watched the worst cult film of all time 4 times for you, so you can.
Yeah, I assume our medals will arrive by Thursday for doing this.
Medal. I want a fucking night ship.
I
don't get the
think that's
Queen near
definitely
me.
what they're called, is a night ship.
A night ship. Oh my god.
Ban the Queen.
Night ship
Destroy
and
the monarch.
lordhood.
I'm going to leave because I generally feel like I'm going to go be insane if I keep talking
I
about
feel like
this
I've
right
spoken
now,
to you guys constantly for the last 24 hours. I feel like my whole day in between just did not exist. I was just floating around thinking about Buckaroo Banzai.
This is a little random half episode. If people like these, let us know. We might end up doing other like 0.5 things and diving into some special features more for the more insane or good films. But let us know if this is the sort of shit you like. But we didn't even tell people who we were, so let's do it now.
Yeah, okay,
Liam.
why not? Let's close out with it.
Yeah, I'm Liam.
It's Beth, and I'm Seb.
Oh, what? No. I was going to say.
Classic
my
Seb,
name's-
stifling woman's voice.
I was waiting
No,
for you to
do
say.
it again. No, yeah, let's do it. Liam, fire off.
Yeah, we'll take the bit again, don't worry.
Yeah, roll back.
I'm Liam.
I'm Seb.
My name is John.
Oh, man. Bye, everyone.
Wait, are you John Big Booty or are you John Small Berries?